Alright, this video is just going to be raw. I'm just going to try to lay my thoughts out on the table. Just post it. Because I know I've seen a lot of you. You came out to the cross on Topsfield Road. Or maybe, that's basically all I've done so far. I know some people are stopping by my house today. But, if you can't tell, come closer to the camera. I messed up my face. So basically, we were on a bike ride. Left my house on Able Avenue. Went down to Bush Hill Road, Topsfield Road, out Mill Road. Took a right onto, we went through Willowdale, popped out of Asbury Street, took a right onto Topsfield Road, got past Foot Brothers, and we just got past Turner Hill, and about a foot off the road from the pavement, so not even the white line, where the pavement turns into dirt. We were a foot away from that, all 5 feet apart. I hear a noise behind me. I'm like, what? Like, what is that, right? And you turn around, and boom, right into the ground. My face dragged against the ground. I'm assuming because when I went unconscious on impact. Next thing you know, I wake up with paramedics, policemen, all these people surrounding me, and my natural thing is to start freaking out. I start resisting. I try to stand up, and they had 4 people put two hands on each of my limbs, holding me down, to try to get me under control. They didn't want my heart rate getting crazy, because they didn't know what was going on with me. They strapped me into a stretcher, and they put me into a helicopter. And I get med flighted to Boston. I was in there for about an hour. Didn't really know what was going on. So from the time that I woke up to the time I was in the hospital and all that stuff, about an hour went by, and I still had no updates on my dad or on my mom. I didn't know if they were alive, if they were dead, what my status was. I felt like I was going to be fine, but then again, you don't know everything that's going on internally and what was internally damaged in the accident. Apparently, my mom went to Beverly Hospital by ambulance, and then she was transported to MGH by ambulance. My dad was also med flighted to MGH. We weren't in the same helicopter. There's 2 separate helicopters, but yeah, so after an hour from being unconscious, they told me, your dad has a serious head injury. He was in ICU, and they were doing everything they could to try to solve the problem. But basically, I was just asking for a blunt, because I'd rather not have hope or a false hope. I would like hope, but not a false hope. I don't want to be told that it's going to be okay, and then it's not okay. They told me that there was an immense amount of blood surrounding his brain. And if you don't know how the brain works, the brain needs oxygen to get to it. It needs space inside the skull, and it was just filled up with blood. And I think they call it a hemorrhage. And his brain was just suffocating, basically. I went upstairs to hold his hand. Me and my mom got to see him. We got to hold his hand one last time. And he looked terrible. There was blood everywhere. He had a gash on the side of his body. They just said they couldn't get him to stop bleeding. They said that there wasn't enough proteins in the body to have the blood properly clot. And I don't know how to describe it, man, but I was crying holding his hand. And something told me that it was just going to be the last time that I might hold his hand. Well, he wasn't even breathing. It was breathing for him, but I can't talk too much longer about this. This is gonna make me cry so much. I just want to show one last thing. I don't know how long this video's been, but this was the sweatshirt that I wore on the podcast when I was here. My dad was here. That so many of you have watched. And I know when I released it, I've been saying it all along that the podcasts are supposed to entertain people, supposed to help people, and just supposed to be raw. You know, that's why I'm making this raw. This is uncut, this is unfiltered. Everything is real. Everything is real, and I think there's joy in looking back of having the privilege of having my dad's voice in conversation with me for over an hour, talking about life. I wish we could have laughed more, but it was a tough day because that was the day after my aunt passed away, and I remember coming home from the clam box, and he was over at my nana's house really late, hugging all of them, talking to my uncle Dan about everything, and he came home really late, and it was like 9 o'clock, and he's like, "Oh, come on, can we just do it tomorrow?" I'm like, "No, like we got to do this now, like because that was that. I don't know if it was so like I don't know if you guys are religious or not. I don't know if it was God just telling me like there was an urgency. I mean, I am naturally impulsive, but there was more of an urgency of like, we're getting this done tonight. Like, we're doing this tonight. And I think it was because the emotions were real. You saw it, man. I know, Eric, hopefully you don't get mad at this, but Eric and a couple other people got emotional from just hearing the part in general, the ending. I know when they saw that, I know Eric posted on his story. I remember playing 2K with him, and I remember he FaceTimed me after he heard how much he meant to me. And I know I didn't do that on the last podcast with Arlen, Ethan, and Wyatt. But you guys do mean so much to me. And I'm going to do this part. And then because I missed out on that last podcast, saying how much they meant to me in the order that I was doing it, I'll resume it. So this is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's from 2010. It says, my memories are by the way, he was super. He's very much in the same way as me. We're both just very sentimental. He's held on to all this stuff. Ben, I know you know this. I know Max knows this. I know Michael. If you're watching this, I know you know this. Liam, Stacy, maybe if you remember. But a lot of the people that came over here and slept over. I know Chris. My whole family knows this. I felt like that was kind of included already. But we used to have the whole kitchen was covered in my work, my brother's work, my sister's work. He loved to hold on to that stuff. And I remember I took it down because I was like, this looks tacky and stuff. And he made sure he always kept it. So the whole workout room over there is filled with articles about me and my buddies and what we did in sports, all growing up from like 2008 up till now. He cared so much about each and every single one of us. He cut out articles about you, Felix. He cut out articles about Max and Marcus, and Michael and everyone that was in the community that he knew that I knew, or he personally knew. He just cared about so many people, and you guys probably wouldn't even know that. You wouldn't know that unless I was to tell you. Oh man, this is gonna make me cry. So I wrote all these. Just Jesus. It says, Dad, I love how you. This was at like Hollywood Hits. It says, Dad, I love how you take me to the movies and let me play pinball after. It says Jack at the bottom. Next one, it says, Dad, I love how you take me out to lunch. We always used to go to McDonald's before we went to the movies. Dad, I love how you buy me Tootsie Pops. He really didn't buy me Tootsie Pops. We just went to the year-old barber shop, and shout out Kristen. You always get a Tootsie Pop when you went there. And then this one says, Dad, I love that you're my team's assistant coach. That was just a little something that I wrote in there, but I let it all out on the podcast. I've been letting it all out, so I just waking up in the morning in your own bed and not having your dad there. It's just so different. We just had such a good relationship, and I know a lot of kids don't have with their dad, and I'm just happy that we had that. And if you don't have that, I encourage you to just stop what you're doing and either go reach out to your dad or go hug your dad. Because it was just a family bike ride that we always go on family bike rides. I know Alexis Casada, if you're watching this, I mean maybe Will Morrow if you remember, but Ben Blizzard too, we would always bike down that long meadow drive. Alexis, we would go through your driveway on that backside and then pop out on the other side. On Pine Swamp, and we'd always do that loop. And just on Thursday, we changed up the route. I know my mom feels really guilty about it because it was the first time we ever did that route. And, I mean, it's just a terrible event that happened. I don't know how to respond to it. So I'm gonna just do my finishing part. Like I did in the podcast with my dad. So I'll start off with Tommy. So Tommy, I don't know you that well, Tommy Cressy. I know my mom knows your mom, but I kind of have a general message for you, for your entire grade. I thank you guys for being role models. I know it doesn't mean like you guys do the best things for your body and that stuff, but I just role models in terms of how to have fun and how to take care of the environment and I don't know, how to just be a good person. Because I genuinely do think a lot of people in your grade, a lot of people in this town are good people, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. But moving on to Owen. Owen, dude, you're one of the only people in this town that's fully driven into a passion. You are fully passionate about a dream that you have. I know you had your dark areas, your dark nights, a lot of dark phases. But I think when we had you on the podcast, we got that idea for a pop-up shop together, and we had a lot of people come out, a lot of success in that. And I don't know, man. I wish you the best, but I know you know this more than me and more than anyone that it's not luck. You know, it's all about work, man. And you're a work dog. You're a workhorse. 16-hour days with a sewing machine. I don't know, man. A lot of people might overlook that. They might just look at the pieces and be like, huh, like why should I pay this much money for this? And you know, I don't know. I don't think they understand the whole process, man. How much you actually put into it, and it's just so respectable. Everyone should look up to you in terms of your work ethic. And then get into Matt, man. Matt and your entire family, Colliers. I know you don't know me that well. Maybe not. I know Tim and Matt pretty well. Matt, I always remember you wearing the purple Kobe's, I think, at the Clam Box. Shout out to the 2016 Clam Box days. Those were goated. The best days around. But yeah, Matt, you've always been a big brother to me, in a sense. A lot of the people in your grade, man. A lot of people who responded and reached out to me in the past couple of days. You guys have always been big brothers to me. Whether you know it or not, whether you think it or not, I felt like you guys have always had my back. You know, in your grade, and like in Jake Long's grade, you guys have always had my back, and you know, I'm forever grateful for everything you've done for me. I don't know, Matt. I know you always wanted to give me a ride home. You only gave me a ride home once from the Clam Box, but because I was so stubborn about it. And I talked about it on Nick's podcast, man. I was always like kind of embarrassed in my house, man. And podcast has allowed me to not be embarrassed anymore. But I don't know, Matt. I love you guys. Your family's amazing. You honestly got one of the nicest families around. You and Tim are such nice people. You're genuine people. You care about people. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, man. This is going to wrap it up, man. But, you know, everyone, I think there's almost been 1,000 people who's donated and almost $100,000 in less than 24 hours. And it's crazy because me and my mom were locked in like a hospital room, and we had no idea what was going on. And you know, I was trying to call as many people as I could, and you guys all came through, man. I don't know how to thank you enough. You know, every single one of you that just cares about, you know, whether you didn't even know George or not, if you just knew me, if you just knew my mom, or if you just knew our family for who we were. I don't know, man. George is the type of person that just, no one ever had to ask him to do anything. He would kind of just do it, you know. I always loved when all my friends were at Zeno's in the summer, and I would get videos of George doing landscaping and lawn work at the church across the street. He never told me where he's going. He would just be like, I'll be back. And it's just, you know, I don't know, he loved to help people. I just got back from a family gathering, and you know, one of my stepmom's mother's brother was 12 years old, and his mom, I believe, had cancer, and she couldn't work, and they were having trouble paying the rent and stuff, and he needed to get a job, and he's 12 years old, and at the time you weren't legally able to do work for money. You couldn't work for money. You couldn't get paid. And my dad filled out an application form with false information just so he could support his mom. You know, that's the thing, is that he always did the right thing. You know, it's not the right thing in the eyes of the government or whatever. It's not the right things in, you know, most terms, but, you know, whatever he did it right. I don't know what I'm saying. This is so hard because this is uncut. I'm just trying to say what I mean. And he's always taught me that, is that do what you think is right. Like, make good decisions. in every aspect of life. Do be there for the people that care about you, and they'll care about you when you're at your weakest point. And I know I'm never gonna, consider, doing drugs or any crazy stuff like that, or any suicidal thoughts or any stuff like that. But I've just been overwhelmed. Not overwhelmed, because that's overwhelmed sounds like in a negative connotation, but I've just been so filled with an abundance of love and concern and everything from all of you in the community. And I just, every single one of you yesterday, I hugged you. I would hug you again. I don't know what else to say, but I thank every single one of you for the contributions you made to my family, to my dad's life. Because, he might have made you smile a lot, but, you're the reason that he smiled too. It was a two-way street for him. He loved to see your reactions, and his favorite thing was probably watching us play sports and see us interact. And he loved the car rides with it. I know we were talking about it yesterday. I mean, the minivan rides every single day to practice, to and from practice, going on road trips, watching movies. I know some of you guys know the movies. It's The Dark Knight, School of Rock, Last Action Hero. George was an Arnold fanatic, but The Fugitive too. I don't know. I had so much. We were supposed to watch all these movies this week because of the virus. I know I said it in the video at the end of the podcast with my dad, but he was always my movie buddy. I would always tell people, like, I saw this movie, and they'd ask me with who, and it's like my dad. Like, he was one of my favorite people. I mean, he shared the same comedy as me. I don't know. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching. I don't know what else to say. If you haven't seen the podcast with my dad, go see it. Changed my life when it happened on the day. And it will change my life forever. My life will never be the same. I'm never going to wake up in the morning, see him outside, feeding his birds. I'm never going to see him at the end of the night, listening to classical music, reading the Boston Globe, eating his cereal. And I'm never gonna have another snowy day outside where we're just inside all day watching SpongeBob and Drake and Josh. And he loved those shows, man. He loved that stuff. I'm gonna try to link it in the description, but I do have some funny clips. I think maybe some from my stream with my dad. I stream on Twitch, and my dad's on there. Sometimes he'll make appearances, sometimes it's funny, and I'll see how many I have saved. But I want to thank you all for watching once again, and hope you have a great day. Peace.
I once was lost, I walked away. The road was dark, I could not see. My hope was gone, the pain was real, but your mercy, you saw my steps, you felt my fears, you heard my cries, you caught my tears. arms open wide. You ran to me with your mercy, your mercy, your mercy. I stand before my King and bow my heart to sing. You saved me, you raised me, you died so I could live. No greater love than this, your mercy. You give me life beyond the grave. My deepest shame is cast away. You sing a song that covers me. It's your mercy, your mercy, your mercy. I stand before my King and bow my heart to sing. You saved me, you raised me, you died so I could live. No greater love than this, your mercy, your mercy. Your loving kindness leads me to repentance. Your loving kindness leads me to repentance. Lord, let your kindness lead us to repentance. Lord, let your kindness lead us to repentance. Your mercy, your mercy. I stand before my King and bow my heart to sing. You saved me, you raised me, you died so I could live. No greater love than this, your mercy, your mercy. I stand before my King and bow my heart to sing. You saved me, you raised me, you died so I could live. No greater love than this, your mercy, your mercy. Lord, your mercy, your mercy.
Still doesn't feel real. I edited the whole video and I miss you so much. I miss going to the movies on the weekends already. We were supposed to see a movie this weekend. we're supposed to watch movies together here. Using the virus. I miss having to go to Five Below, getting the 2 waters. You would always have your chocolate raisinets, and you know you would always have to go to the bathroom before, and then even if it was a short movie, you'd even finish your water, you would still have to go after. I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss traveling, and every single where we go, you go to the bathroom. I'm gonna miss working with you. I know Jared sent me a text, and it's the most accurate depiction of how we worked. It's always after the first job or halfway during the first job, depending on how long it is. We always have to have a protein bar, and he would have his water. Yeah. I miss him so much. I miss his whole presence. I don't want to make this too long. It's different, you know, coming up from downstairs late at night, and you're not going to be up there listening to the classical station and reading the paper. I don't know. I can't say anymore, but I could, but I don't want to make this too long. Every single one of you that's spent time with me and continues to spend time with me, I told Alexis the other day, I'm not sure if I can't remember, there's so many people that have reached out, and it's amazing. You know, the relationships that you're establishing now with me, I want to make sure I carry those out, and you know, I carry it out because that's what he would have done, and I admit that throughout high school, I distanced myself a lot. I still hung out with my friends, but I definitely decided to isolate myself a lot, and I don't live with regrets or anything like that. But you know, my dad was a person that cared about people a lot. You know, I care about all my friends, whether I see them every week or not. I just looking at those pictures, man, I wish I could go back. I said that in the podcast. I just wish that I could go back. I don't know what else to say. I love you, Dad. I'm gonna miss you, but I know you're looking down, and I just hope that, you know, everything I do will make you proud.